I'm your host, Lamar L.A. Smith, and welcome to Inside 380. Now, today on Inside 380, we will be talking about the MLB Playoffs, the NASCAR Sprint Cup, Ole Miss versus LSU in Death Valley, UK versus Mississippi State. Then we will be talking about El Clasico, and then this year in the NBA. First of all, we will be starting with the MLB Playoffs. Now, in the MLB Playoffs, currently the series is tied 2-2 in the World Series. Now, you have the Kansas City Royals. Then you have the San Francisco Giants. Obviously, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't like the Giants. And I'm always rooting for the underdog. So, obviously, I pick Kansas City over the San Francisco Giants. But then you have to go back from an analytical standpoint and you look at the numbers. Now, even though the series is tied 2-2, now I'm going to just read you a couple of key stats. Now, game one, it started off with aces, Madison Bumgarner and James Shields. Now, James Shields only went 3 innings, gave up 7 hits and 5 earned runs. Only had 1 K. He was overthrowing a lot of his pitches. He wasn't completing a lot of his throws. And he was hanging his changeup way too high, which resulted in several timely hit balls and resulted in a W for the Giants. You had Madison Bumgarner, Mr. October, 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, 5 Ks, 1 walk, 1 run given up. And the Giants won that game pretty decisively, 7-1. Kansas City Royals won the game 7-2, the second game versus the Giants. As well as the fact you have Yordan Ventura, the heater, his heater, 102. That's the highest he's thrown on the gun that I've seen with my own 2 eyes. Now, Yordan Ventura, great pitcher, throws a lot of fastballs. But when you're throwing 102, you can do that. Great location. He did what he's supposed to do. Pitched 5 in the third. Did his thing. He gave up 8 hits, but he only gave up 2 runs, which is the most important thing. And they did their thing. They won 7-2. You just look at another X factor for you. You have Hunter Strickland. Hunter Strickland, let me read some of the numbers for you people. 5 in the third innings pitched. 7 hits. 6. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 runs that he's giving up. 5 home runs. 2 of those home runs was to my boy Brycey down in D.C. He throws too many heaters, which is not necessarily always a bad thing, but when you have poor location, bad things happen. You're not going to throw 99 in my face and not expect me to send it out the stadium. But that's Inside 380 for you, MLB edition. I'm out. Oh, sorry folks. You're wondering, why is LA acting like he's driving a car like a 4-year-old? Let me tell you why. Because we're talking about the NASCAR Sprint Cup. Now, you had 3 guys that were on the bubble in the chase. Now, out of those 3 guys, only 1 made it to the next round of the Sprint Cup. Now, also, out of those 3 guys that were on the bubble, all of them needed 1 win. 1 win. 1 win is all you needed to get to the next round. That's easier said than done. That one guy who made it to the next round was Brad Keselowski. Now, Brad Keselowski was going against some tough racers. You had Dale Earnhardt Jr., who apparently has racing in his blood, like his dad, the great Dale Earnhardt, racing legend. Then you had 6-time Sprint Cup champion Jimmy Johnson, who also needed a win. Now, Dale Earnhardt and Jimmy Johnson didn't get the win, but Brad did. Therefore, he moves to the next round of the chase. Now, you had Kyle Busch who was also up toward the top tier of the chase. But thanks to a car crash and a 40th finish in Talladega, he's exited out of the chase. 4 guys were eliminated. Martinsville, Denny Hamlin, your leader, maybe your race winner if he can cross the finish line. You know, as Chris Webber would say, run through the tape. Run through the tape. Don't look back. Only look straight. You got one objective, and that's to run through the tape. That's Inside 380 for you. NASCAR's done. I'll get with you on Martinsville next week when I get the chance. But that's the NASCAR segment. We're back with Inside 380. Now, our next segment, we will be talking about the SEC. Now, with the SEC, you had 2 great games played this weekend. A lot of great games, but I'm only choosing to talk about 2. Now, the first game, the nightcap, ESPN, number 3, Ole Miss, number 24, LSU, in the Death Valley, in the Bayou. College Game Day was covering it. LSU won 10-7. Now, you have LSU ranked number 16, Ole Miss ranked number 7, and the game was very great. I watched the whole game. Ole Miss line got manhandled. Just straight manhandled. Their run defense only gives up 97.1 yards per game, one of the best in the nation. But let me read a small statistic for you. They gave up 264 yards as a team. And the so-called Heisman winner, that's what he did after his first rushing touchdown. The number 1 recruit in his 2014 class, Leonard Fournette, who ran 113 yards and just did his thing. And the story of the game was LSU was making so many mistakes. Several fumbles, 2 picks by Jennings, their quarterback. But at the end of the day, LSU defense would stand tall, stand it strong, and they manhandled Ole Miss. See, games like this, it all comes down to the trenches. By the trenches, I mean the line. And LSU line straight dominated Ole Miss's line. Now, you had Bo Wallace, who threw 14 of 33, 176. He threw the pick that sealed the game to Ronald Martin, as well as the fact, at first, Ole Miss was going to say, we're just going to go for the 42-yard field goal, take this to OT, and then we're going to show LSU our mettle. Wrong! That didn't happen. It didn't happen. See, thanks to a delay of game penalty, took 5 yards back, 47-yard field goal. Little bit shaky in college football. Little bit shaky. I don't trust college kickers. I don't, because they make too many mistakes. Whenever you need them, it's very rare that they come through in the clutch. So much drama over the kickers for a simple reason. I don't trust the kickers. Now, they didn't trust their kicker either, so they had Bo Wallace line up behind the snap, sit back in the pocket. Next thing you know, he threw his first SEC pick of the year. Threw it to Ronald Martin, 2 seconds left, and that was the end of the game. Now, with UK football, you had Toes, who did his thing, threw for 390, as well as the fact that he had 80 yards rushing, and he almost went for 500 yards for scrimmage. And Patrick Toes is a beast. Nothing else to say for you. Now, several drops by, the UK receivers, I tell them squeeze, resulted in us losing 45-31. Mississippi State didn't play their best game, but the simple thing was that they made the right plays at the right time, and UK didn't. We're 5-3. We go to Mizzou this weekend. Now, I don't know what will happen, but I'm confident that we will get the W. This year, at best, we'll be 8-4, and at worst, we'll be 7-5. A bowl game is on the horizon, but we'll get more in the UK later. That was Inside 380 for you. SEC football. We'll be back. Go! Yes, goal. That goal being to win. But I'm just playing though. Something slight. Now, in soccer, every goal is pretty much like a little celebration. Now, it's only one game that's a must-watch, and that must-watch is Barcelona versus Real Madrid. Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. What more is there to watch? What more is there not to watch? Now, Ronaldo has 16 goals this year, 17 points, and he's trying to get Player of the Year again like he did last year when he snatched it from Messi. And Messi this year only has 7 goals, but yet he has 14 points because he's a playmaker. 7 goals, 7 assists, Messi. Now, both Messi and Ronaldo are toggling up to get the most career goals in the Spanish Premier Division. Now, in La Liga, Ronaldo is on pace to break the record, but Messi's on pace to break the record. So basically, for the rest of their career, it's going to be like Ronaldo holds the record, Messi holds the record. Ronaldo, Messi. Messi, Ronaldo. Ronaldo, Messi. Cristiano, Lionel. Ronaldo, Messi. Very interesting. The game was very competitive until later in the game where Real Madrid turned it up on them a little bit. Now, Barcelona only has a 1-point lead in La Liga, but that is expected. 2 teams that are ahead of their class, ahead of the rest. So, it's best for them to be at their best if they want to hold up the trophy once the season is over. That's Inside 380 with you, covering El Clasico, and we will be back with the NBA preview to wrap the show up. Hello, I'm going to give you the NBA preview for Inside 380. Now, the current rankings that I have is the following. In the East, I have the Bulls, the Cavs, the Heat, the Raptors, the Wizards, the Hornets, the Hawks, and the Knicks as your top 8 seeds, 1 through 8. In the West, I have number 1, OKC, number 2, the Clippers, number 3, the Spurs, 4, the Mavs, 5, the Blazers, 6, the Warriors, 7, the Rockets, and 8, the Suns. Now, this all season was real big, from Chandler Parsons and Tyson Chandler to going to the Mavs, from LeBron going back home, to Melo staying in New York, and to D-Rose finally making his long-awaited comeback to the Bulls, and Paul Gasol signing with the Bulls along with him. This season was packed. Now, this season is unpredictable. Championship this year. Now, I think the Heat this year are the sleepers, just because they went from the Hornets to the Hunter. They signed Dang, they signed McRobbins, they signed Granger the whole season. They drafted Napier. They had so much more depth. I think you're going to see them revitalize the league. But I think this year he'll be the 4th guard in NBA history, along with 2 great guards, Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, that average over 23 points per game in the year that he turns 33. So you have a great team. I wouldn't sleep on the Heat. The Heat are going to make some noise in the East. But this year in the NBA, who knows? It's hashtag the season.
Two, of course, number 2-4. Made 2 in a row. Defense trying to pinch over to possibly help out. Bryant again, 3 in a row.
25th installment. I'm your host, Lamar L.A. Smith, Inside 380. We'll be back with the next episode.